process and then talking about kind of what's next.
Okay.
So I wanted to move in that direction, but before kind of doing that, I wanted to see if there's things that were missing in the process part of it, or we can get more deep into kind of the music side of things.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking about either the music, the record a little more, or the film, and then the installation. All of these projects have a human component in them. You know, the island, we weren't just focusing on the forest or the beach or the animals. There were people there, and there were machines and, you know, some sort of industry, and all these things are fair game for what we're experiencing and what we're capturing, you know, as both a person and as an artist. There were 3 of us, well, maybe 5 of us, including the visual artists, 3 musicians on the island, and we're all going, you know, different places on our own with our microphones, exploring in an isolated way. So we're not all sticking together. You know, one of us might wake up at a different time and have a different idea of where they want to go. So say they went to the beach and found some sounds and recorded some sounds. So that happened every day during the week, and at the end of the week, we're all coming together, kind of sharing what we've found and integrating that into a performance.
How does it change when it comes to that active listening, right? How does it change when all of a sudden you have to go from a participant of an environment to an observer of this environment?
Yeah. So one of the goals of this project is to give the listener or viewer a sense of a different perspective that is available to them at all times, no matter where you are. And if you're sitting in your room at home and you really listen to what is there, there's a lot more than what you might normally hear. And that's just how our brains work. They filter out most of what we see and hear. So because we're using equipment to listen, it enables us to focus on the moment and what is around us in a way that might not normally be accessible. And the microphones will pick up a lot more sound than we're used to hearing with our ears. And the cameras pick up, you know, different things that we're able to see. It becomes this very focused listening, and it is active listening. It's active participation with what is around you. Part of our process, you know, to get into that focused zone enables us to just experience the land differently. We're going through a days-long process of experiencing and collecting and recording, and then an hours-long process of improvising to get down to the 30-minute.
Almost as if you force yourself not to create a vision of the work until you go through the first phase of the process.
Right. And I think this being location-based, ensures that there cannot be a vision, because we don't know what we're going to find.
Exactly.
We don't know what we're going to hear or see. So it all is being discovered in the moment.
And I know there's, besides the film, the record, there's also the installation that you're doing here in this location, right, where we're speaking from.
Yes.
Can you tell me about the installation?
Yeah, so the installation, it's really taking the raw material that was used for the record and for the film, removing it from those contexts and applying it to, this physical space.
I was wondering if in the process, with what's happening with climate change, global warming and so forth, if you're capturing places that are changing, that may not be going back ever to what they were, and sometimes even at times as you're capturing disappearing landscapes in the process.
I think that's a byproduct of what we're doing, not a focus.
Yeah.
We haven't specifically targeted areas that are endangered. This project doesn't have an environmental slant where we're trying to capture places that are disappearing. I think that's just happening naturally.
It's just happening, yeah. Based here in Los Angeles, where the pace, even though it's not New York or any other large city, it is a place that has large population, very active. You're juggling many projects always at once. So the change of pace alone of going to a place that is so remote must have had a deep impact in you too. It's almost as if the process of recording and the process of experiences, as you said, the waking up, the walking around, the eating, having a quiet meal, and not having to run through so many things throughout the day, prepares you to the final improvisation that you're doing. I can imagine you, Jason and Aaron, were different people when you arrived and from the moment you were recording
Yes.
and you utilizing these recordings. I think it's very much about process in a way.
Cape provides, right?
When all of a sudden taking a role or developing a film and developing an installation where you are the person who has been carrying this guiding the vessel, through the process. Is it something that when it comes for the film or for the installation, you kind of give up a lot of those visions and you put it in the hands of others?
I mean, I think along the way, I'm welcoming the hands of others. That collective nature of the performance and the improvisation is so important that, I could do it on my own, but it wouldn't be as fun and it wouldn't be as good. And so it's a solitary pursuit, but we're doing it together. So we're seeing each other and seeing ourselves in these new ways.
How do you come out of it? How did the project develop? What you found on the other end?
After going through something like that and coming out intact and with something to show, it just strengthens, my belief in engaging with the unknown.